Alrighty, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So today we're going to be doing the updated collection video. Now, I've had a bunch of people ask me to do this, and I also just personally want to do this because my collection video previously, I probably have like half the collection that I do now. My collection's definitely doubled, if not tripled, since then. And I also really like where I'm at in terms of the quality of series. I feel like there's just so many series that I really wanted to get but I didn't have at that time. And before I get into this, I just want to say, if you're watching this video, I really enjoy watching manga hauls and manga collections. But I just want to be clear that, you know, some of you guys, I don't want you watching this video and going out and just buying manga to buy manga. You know, make sure that you buy series that you enjoy. You know, in terms of spending money, you know, not recklessly. A lot of the manga in my collection is used, and I was able to get incredible deals. So a lot of the manga is like $1 per volume or less. That's not something that's super common. So don't think that I paid, you know, $10 or $11 for every single volume in my collection. And I'm just saying that because I don't want you to compare your collection to this collection. And you know, especially if you're still in school or something like that. Like, I'm out of school, I'm working full time, so you know, with buying these used manga hauls, I am able to have a collection like this. So yeah, that's enough rambling. Let's get right into the collection. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna start on shelf number 1 of 6. So I think this was the same shelf I started with on my other collection video, or at least in the same spot. Now I do just want to say before we start that I do have a section of manga, which we'll see in a little bit, that I am looking to sell. It's probably I don't know, maybe around 40, 50, 60 volumes. In total, my collection is about 750 volumes right now. Or, you know, volumes is in like individual books. I'm not counting omnibuses as 3. So yeah, let's get into it though. This is about 1 year of collecting, a little over 1 year collecting, and remember, a lot of these I got used for really good deals in bulk. And I'm not telling you guys not to strive for this as a 1 year goal, but I will say realistically, if you're paying retail, most people, like, this isn't going to be a 1 year collection. And I know if I had to pay retail for, or close to retail for all my books, this is, my collection would not look like it. It would not look like what it is now. It would look a lot more similar to my previous collection. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So first of all, sorry for any kind of glare, but I mean, that's just what needs to happen for this lighting. We have the One Piece box set. This is actually for sale at the moment. I haven't listed it. As this video goes up, I'm sure it'll already be listed. So feel free to contact me on Instagram or follow me on Instagram, and that's where I sell all my stuff. And then we have 2 little Deku figures. One of these in a giveaway, so these are kind of cool. And then we have on the top row the Promised Neverland volumes 1 through 12, as well as My Hero Academia volumes 1 through 20. So these 2 series are obviously really popular Shonen Jump series. These are also 2 series that I got a lot of when I started my collection. I'd say 90% of these were bought from Barnes & Nobles. I know The Promised Neverland is currently finished right now. I'm a few volumes short. At some point I will catch up because it's a really good series. It's a nice, like, darker shonen. And then My Hero Academia I don't think is ending soon, but I am probably, I don't know, 5 volumes off or something like that. And there was just so much other manga that I was getting into at that time that, I don't know, at some point I'll go back to it, but it's really not a priority. It's very long running right now, and I don't know. Next we have Zatch Bell volumes 1 through 22. This is kind of my pride and joy out of my collection. I know these volumes aren't exactly expensive, but if you know my journey through getting these and just this series in general, I'm very happy to own these. I do need a couple more volumes, but the last 3 volumes are very expensive, and even all these are really difficult to find in bulk. I don't know if it has anything to do with my videos, but Zatch Bell has become very popular again in the secondary market. If someone posts something on Reddit, it's gone real quick, and there's always a bunch of people trying to fight for it. But yeah, in my opinion, this is a really cool battle shonen, and one of the anime that I kind of grew up watching. Next we have Hunter x Hunter. Everyone knows about Hunter x Hunter. We have volumes 1 through 10. At some point I will collect the rest, but not exactly a priority, as this is also known as hiatus x hiatus. So you know, not really in any rush. The artwork also isn't fantastic, but I mean, it's not really a big deal to me. As long as the artwork isn't like complete dog shite, you know, I really don't have an issue with it, as long as the story's good and the concepts and characters are fun. So I really don't mind the artwork. Next we have Helsing Volume 1 through 10. We have an extra Volume 1, which is a Barnes & Nobles exclusive hardcover edition, and then we have a Japanese volume 10. So this is really cool. I haven't started this series yet. This was, and I bought this with Berserk and Blame, and yeah, I just haven't gotten to it yet. I flew through Berserk. At some point, I will get to this. But yeah, I'm happy to own all the singles. And next we have Battle Royale, a series I'm still working on. You know, at some point I will be able to finish it. You know, some of these are in pretty good condition, some of them aren't in that great condition, but I'm happy to own the majority of them. This is one of my favorite stories and just manga in general. I think it's super creative in the time frame that it was written. You know, it's kind of the first battle royale, you know, Fortnite, whatever. Yeah, I think it's really violent and just awesome. And next we have Fire Force Volume 1. This is a exclusive, I don't know if it was like a loot crate or whatever, but it is black and red instead of white or whatever it's supposed to be. Next we have Mob Psycho 100, as you can see maybe by the top. I just got this one recently and I'm going through it, and I'll leave my opinion in another video. Next we have Kakegurui, I guess how you pronounce it, Volume 10. This is a anime that I really enjoy on Netflix, and I've been wanting to get the manga, but the manga is expensive. So last time I was at the manga shop that I go to, this was in the discounted section, so it was only $5. And I think it's because there was maybe just a little bit of cosmetic damage on the back. I don't remember exactly, but it's not bad at all, like in any tournaments, but to sell it for full retail, I kind of get why you couldn't do that. Next we have JoJo's Volume 1, Part 1. This is another series that I really want to get to, but it's also very expensive. I think these two go quite well together, just in terms of how expensive they are and how much I want to collect them. And then bottom shelf, hopefully lighting's not too bad. I added some extra lighting for this video. We have Haikyuu. Really enjoy the anime. The manga's pretty good too. I think if you want to get through the story a little faster than the manga, you know, like usual, is pretty good to collect, but I got those for a pretty good price. And then Deadman Wonderland is fantastic. Volumes 1 through 13, that's complete, is really good. I highly recommend getting the manga. I don't recommend getting into the anime, as the anime never officially finished how it was supposed to finish, so definitely rather you get into the manga if you were interested in this series. Next we have Real Account. This is a sleeper series, so volumes 1 through 8, it's still ongoing. And there's an omnibus that I don't have because Amazon just refused to give me a non-damaged copy, so I have to find it from somewhere else. But I really think this is a fantastic series. I think it's really interesting, and yeah, I totally recommend you get into Real Account. I do have a first impression video that I dropped, I don't know, a while ago. But if you want to check that out, and yeah, I do really recommend you get into this. It doesn't have an anime, and I think it's one of those series that definitely should have an anime, and you know, we might see one in the future. Alrighty, so moving on to the next shelf. Once again, sorry if the glare is not very good, but we have Beastars Volume 1 through 7. This is an amazing series. I highly recommend you get into this. It's very political between the carnivores and the herbivores. It's just a different series, and I do really recommend you get into it. It's very dark, and I don't know, I just personally, I don't know anyone who's read this and has bad things to say about it. The only people who have bad things to say are people who haven't read it. Next we have Maiden Abyss. This goes back and forth. I recommend you get into the series, but I will warn you, and my warning video I uploaded not too long ago, but there is a significant problem with this series, and unfortunately it's definitely not for everyone, but if you can get past certain things, which I talk about in my other video, then I do think it's a good series to get into. Next we have Bokurano R's Volumes 1 through 11. This is complete. This is an awesome series, but it is a series that's hard to get into because Volume 3 is so damn expensive. So I recommend, if you're able to find the entire series, I recommend you do that. And if you can't find the other series, well, you can buy the rest of it for retail, and then, I don't know, maybe if you can read Volume 3 online, or if you find a good price for it, pick it up later. That's probably what I'd recommend for this series, although you could also watch the anime, but the anime is different. The director and the writer of the mangaka had two different creative roads they wanted to take, and the director just didn't agree with the manga writer, so there are differences throughout them, but I've heard great things about both. Next we have Tokyo Ghoul Volumes 1 through 14. This is a great series, and it's also a series that you can get for a really good price on Amazon. I recommend waiting for a good price in the box set. Usually a good price, I would say, is around $80. It does get, you know, around $80. If you look at the prices throughout the last year or two, you could see that. So I do recommend waiting for a good price on that. And then the Tokyo Ghoul re-box set, I also recommend waiting, because when that releases, it's going to be at the base price or just under it, but that will surely drop within a couple months. And then also a couple of knickknacks. I have lock and key keys. I have the head key and the moon key. One of my friends 3D print stuff, so that was really awesome to have up here. And then just this little, like, I want to say Buddha statue, but I'm not 100% sure. I found this at the thrift store and I thought it was really cool, so I just picked it up. And then on the next shelf, we have Prison School Volumes 1 through 11. This was in one of my most recent hauls. I got these for a really good price, so I'm happy to get into this. I started Volume 1 a while ago before I got the rest of these, so I have to keep working on it. And then, as you see, got some exclusive figures on this shelf. If you know, you know. My boy George and Peppa. Yeah, and I know some of y'all are jealous, y'all ain't got these, but it is what it is. So next we have Butler Volumes One, or Omnibus 1 and 2. This is the way that personally I want to collect Blade of the Immortal. I don't like the big versions that are coming out. I just don't think they look as good as Berserk and Helsing, and I do think these look just way better, so I personally don't mind going this route. Next we have Goodnight Pun Pun Volumes 1 through 3. This is a really good series, but it's also a series that I got when I was starting collecting, and it was just, it's depressing, and I haven't collected the rest just because there was so much other stuff I wanted to read when I first started collecting. So at some point I do plan on collecting the rest of this, but it's not exactly, I mean, it's more of a priority now than it was when I first started collecting, but it's really one of those things where I'm trying to get it for a good price. I don't want to pay $20 or whatever per omnibus. I'd rather not, if possible. There's just so much other stuff that I would rather pay retail for, because you just can't find it used, like this series. We have Ajin Demi-Human 1 through 8. This is a series that's hard to find used. It is also an expensive retail series, but I highly recommend you get into the series. And I talked about this in my reading log. It is such a good series. It is like Tokyo Ghoul, but on crack. And I'm only 8 volumes in, and I think I've already enjoyed this more than I enjoyed 1 through 14 of Tokyo Ghoul. That's not to say Tokyo Ghoul's bad, but I do see similar traits in both of them, and I just think Ajin is so damn good. So at some point I will be reviewing, the entire, I think there's 15 volumes out right now. It's still ongoing, which is awesome too. But next we have Spy Family, Volumes 1 and 2. Volume 2 just recently released as this video. I will be talking about it in either its own review or a reading log or a haul video or something like that. Some of this manga is very recently picked up within the last couple days. So it hasn't been in a haul or anything like that, so you guys are kind of seeing this before other people who watch the new haul that I'll be releasing for this month and haven't seen this video yet, if that makes any sense. And then next shelf we have some hardcovers. So we have No Longer Human by Janji Ito, as well as Uzumaki by Junji Ito. Now I like Junji Ito, but I will say that his artwork is fantastic and it's very creepy and everything, but something which I don't find a lot of people talking about is his characters. His characters look very similar. So the next series, The Drifting Classroom, I really enjoy switching horror manga, because I feel like Junji Ito has really taken over the Western, the horror manga that's entered the Western market. I feel like Junji Ito just has captured it. So I do enjoy his artwork and I do enjoy his stories, but sometimes his characters do get a little tiring. So The Drifting Classroom by Kazuo Mez, who is kind of some people would say is the godfather of horror manga. It's someone who Junji Ito looks up to and takes inspiration from. The Drifting Classroom is such an amazing series. I still have to finish Omnibus 3, I just got that recently, so that'll be finished within the next week or two, but it is an absolutely amazing manga. If you haven't checked out The Drifting Classroom and you like horror manga slash just darker manga, I highly recommend you pick it up. Next we have the Full Metal Alchemist. This is the best way to collect Full Metal Alchemist. And now it's not the cheapest, of course, but it is such high quality. It's photocopy paper, whatever it's called, photo whatever paper. It's just super high quality. So the cheapest way might be the 3-in-1s or the box set. So if you just want the story and you want the manga, I recommend going that way. But if you want something that's very high quality but is more expensive and a little harder to collect, I do recommend the Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal editions. Next we have Vinland Saga Volumes 1 through 4. This is another manga that I really enjoy, but it's really expensive, so I try to wait for deals or, you know, anything of that nature. So I will be collecting more, but just don't have it at the moment. Next we have Grand Blue Dreaming. This was a very funny manga, I will say. It's definitely a manga that I'm interested in getting more of. I just got this recently and read it recently. Happiness I just got recently. Haven't started it yet, but I've heard fantastic things. This is a Shuzo Oshimi, as well as a couple other works I have by him. Cells at Work I've read a couple pages of, so I can't really say much about. Blood on the Tracks Volume 1 I felt like was a little overrated, but only because people talk about how good the series is because they've read the scans or whatever, so you know, we'll see how it goes, but personally I wasn't super impressed. But I also think that his work, I think, at least reading through the entire Flowers of Evil Omnibus One, I think his work might be better put in an omnibus, just because I feel like Blood on the Tracks Volume 1, if there was 2 more volumes after that in a 3-in-1, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But the ending was just kind of, like, I already knew that was going to happen. It wasn't a surprise or anything, so I don't know. But the Flowers of Evil Omnibus 1, very, very strange story, but I really enjoyed it. Definitely a omnibus that I'm looking to continue. But funny enough, I feel like people don't talk about the quality of the omnibus. I think it was this one where the pages are pretty thin. Like, you can kind of see some artwork on the other side, which I'm not a fan of. So if I can find the singles, I may end up picking up the singles, but I just haven't found them for a good price yet. So we'll see about that. The Quintessential Quintuplets Volume 1. This is a manga that everyone has been recommending, so I picked it up. I haven't started it yet. This was just recently, within the last couple days, as well as these 3 Slam Dunk volumes. I got these from the Prom G. Also a really popular series. I should have these read within the next couple days. So next up is this section of manga. So this looks super disorganized and whatever, or it might look that. Maybe some people this looks organized. I don't know what your collection looks like, but a lot of this is stuff I'm either selling or is pending deals. But this bookcase is, I mean, it's not very good. It's pretty old and it's missing a whole shelf. So this is just the way I stack them. Normally, you know, if someone had them on normal shelves, this wouldn't look like this. But for the most part, like I said, most of this is going out soon. So if you're interested in any of this manga down here, some of it might not be for sale, but most of it is. And if anything's not for sale, I will let you know when I go through it. But this part I'm going to try my best to speed through, just because most of these are volume 1s and 2s at the most. And really, like, none of it, I mean, some of it might be, but a lot of it isn't bad manga. It's just a lot of, it's kind of like sampling. And I have, you know, sampled through a lot of these, so some I want to continue and some I don't. But for the most part, most of this was bought for around 50 cents to $1 each. These, like, majority of this, probably 60%, was bought when I got my Bleach haul for like $50, and so then, like, most of these are like 50 cents each, and then there's a couple that are that I got for $1, but like that's literally the most I got for most of these manga. So trying to kind of speed through it, we have Toriko volumes 1 through 2. We have Ice Shield 21. This is a manga that I am interested in collecting, but I'm probably going to end up buying a set which is already going to have volumes 1 through 2. That's already going to have volumes 1. And then we have Yu Yu Hakusho volumes 1 through 2. This is apparently coming back in print, or at least restocking. We have Dragon Drive volumes 1 through 3. We have Servamp volumes 1 through 4. High School of the Dead, Oparts Hunter, Neon Genesis, Toto, Doicode, Get Backers, Air Gear, Claymore, Gintama, Switch, Beat, Raugrad, Zombie Loan. Some of you guys may be familiar with this manga, some of you may not. Then we also have Sandland and Dr. Slump. These are not for sale, these are just over here because I've run out of space. But these are Akira Toriyama works, and I really enjoy these. Then we have King of Thorn, Mar, Basura, World Trigger, Pavane for a Dead Girl, Death at Death's Door, D Grandman, Tsuba, Library Wars, Lone, Chrono Crusade, Sergeant Frog, Barrage, Food Wars, Devil's a Part-Timer. So like I said, a lot of popular series in this, and some of these I actually got in at giveaways, so some of these aren't for sale. But just DM me and I'll let you know which ones are and aren't. Then we have To Your Eternity Volume 4. Blade of the Immortal, this is the singles, volume 1. Like I said, the Omnibus is how I want to collect it, but I know some people are into the singles. Rurouni Kenshin volumes 6 and 7, I sold the other ones. A lot of these are extras in this pile, so we have Attack on Titan volume 1, Kingdom Hearts, Monster Hunter, Monster, Animal Land volume 3, Case Closed, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Black Butler Volumes, not in the greatest condition. Yotsuba, Full Metal Alchemist, One Punch Man, then some Dragon Ball and Naruto 3-1s. And then these, we have some Shaman King and Dr. Stone, not a fan of Dr. Stone. And then some Shaman King down there. I don't know if these are for sale yet. They're not in the best condition, but they're definitely in readable condition. It's a series that I've been wanting to get into, but I know the 3-in-1s are releasing, so I don't know what the condition, I don't know how the quality of those 3-in-1s are gonna go. So the singles might be the way to go on this. So moving back onto my normal collection that is not for sale, we have Monster volumes 1 through 9. This is an absolute masterpiece. At some point I may make a video on this, but I feel like enough people should already know how good this manga is. Urasawa is just an absolute genius when it comes to writing manga, as well as 20th Century Boys, which I'm a fan of these 3 volumes and I'm looking to continue it. But it is a little expensive, and I'm kind of just waiting till it's all finished and printed. Next we have Master Keaton. Now this says Urasawa, but it's not actually written by Urasawa. The story's not by Urasawa, it's just drawn by him, and a lot of people don't know that. So, just make sure you realize that when you buy it. Don't be sold on the fact that it's another Urasawa story. Then we have Planetest by Yukimura, the same mangaka who does Vinland Saga. And although I thought this was a pretty good manga, I don't think it's anything like Vinland Saga, so if you enjoy Vinland Saga, don't think you're going to enjoy this just because it's the same mangaka. It's way slower. Much more of a slice of life in space, which a lot of people do enjoy, so you might enjoy this, I don't know. Next we have Doubt. This is similar to, kind of similar to Saw. It's fantastic. It's a really amazing manga, and volume 2, the end of it, and the second half just really solidifies how good this manga is. I felt like halfway through volume 2, it was getting kind of slow because I'm like, oh, alright, we know who it is, and then there's so many flips and switches and turns and twists that you really don't know anything till the end, and that's all I'm gonna say. Next we have Satoshi Kon's Opus, fantastic manga. Unfortunately, he was not able to finish this because he passed away before he was able to finish it. Technically, it was canceled, or not canceled, but the manga magazine that was printing this went out of business, so he wasn't able to finish. Then he switched to anime and was directing multiple movies, Tokyo Godfathers as an example, and he just never got around to being able to finish Opus. And then on the next shelf, we have One Piece volumes 1 all the way to 74. So yeah, this was a awesome, amazing pickup. I was able to manage through Facebook Marketplace, where I got these for an absolute steal, less than $1 each. And the manga that I didn't want out of the haul, I was able to sell super cheap to my followers, and I was able to recoup the cost to purchase this One Piece bundle. So shout out to all the people who bought stuff from me, and shout out to the people who hopefully in the future buy stuff from me, because I mean, like the stuff I sell on Instagram, I give really good prices on, and I'm not just bragging on that, but I kind of am, because this manga I'm able to pick up for $1 or $2 a piece, so I'm able to sell them for $3-4, and everyone's happy. Alright, so I decided to take a little break to handle something, but I'm back, and I think I left off with One Piece. So yeah, 1 through 74 One Piece got for a really good deal. This is the reason why I'm selling the box set. I have these. I have no reason to keep the box set, obviously, and I'd rather just keep these. And then next we have Spice and Wolf. This is the manga, not the light novel. Pretty interesting so far. The spines are some of the best spines, or just artwork in general on the outside, and the spines are the best spines I have in my collection. I think they're really nice, and just really cool colors, and just the way it's done I think is really appealing. And then next we have Assassination Classroom. This is a fantastic series, volumes 1 through 11. It's about halfway. I think there's 21 volumes released. Really enjoy this series. I actually thought when I picked this up that 1 through 11 was the whole series, and I bought this used, and when I learned that volume 11 was not the last volume, I was a little disappointed, not gonna lie. I knew it wasn't, because it just didn't make any sense once I got to it,
but like, as you see right here on the spine, it says Victory, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This is the last volume. And then I got to it, I'm like, no, this is not the last volume. Then we have Black Clover, volumes 1 through 10. I think I'm somewhere around 5 or 6 right now. Also one of the series that I picked up when I first started collecting, and I really enjoy the series. I need to get back into it at some point, but just long-running shonen are kind of difficult to really get into right now. Next we have I Am a Hero, volumes 1 through 11. This is the bottom shelf, so sorry if the lighting's not fantastic, but this is a really good zombie manga. I'm on volume 3 right now, kind of towards the beginning, so I need to get back into this, but I know some of these are out of print and kind of hard to find, and I enjoy this series, so I wanted to grab some of these, especially some of the harder ones, before they get any more expensive. If they do, I don't know. Either way, I got these for a little under retail. Next we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Volumes 1 through 12, 4 omnibuses. This is the 3-in-1s. Not very great quality 3-in-1s. I wish they would release these in a better format, but I mean, you can't always get what you want. Then we have Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, volumes 5 and 6. This is probably something I'm going to sell, just because the other volumes are so hard to get that if I do end up getting these, it'll probably be because it's a reprint, or I'll just find them used locally for a really good deal. But I don't know how. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. And then moving on to the 4th shelf, I have Dragon Ball, the box set up here. Love this manga. Highly recommend this for anyone who doesn't have this yet and who hasn't gotten to the story yet. But this is kind of my, I don't know, darker manga shelf, I guess. I don't know, it's just a skinny shelf, medium sized, and I think the manga I have on here fit pretty well. We have Mouse 1 and 2. This is actually not a manga, it's a graphic novel, but I highly recommend anyone to get into this if you haven't yet. It's a really interesting retelling of this guy's grandfather's experience through the Holocaust and through concentration camps, and it's told in a format where the Jews are mice and the Nazis are cats. It's really fantastic. It's critically acclaimed, so highly recommend it. Next we have Gantz. Started this last night, and I apologize if there's some glare, it's just how it is, but I'd rather better lighting than grainy video. So we have Gantz Omnibus One. Like I said, started this yesterday. Really enjoying it so far. I know some people don't like this format, but honestly, I'm pretty careful with my spine, so I don't see it creasing too much in the future. Then we have Kaiji, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Gambling manga, picked it up recently, haven't started it just yet, but people say really good things about it, and you know, I enjoy gambling anime manga, so definitely interested in reading this. And next we reorganized Death Note. So we have the black editions. This is the best edition of Death Note. It's incredible, it's really cool, and just the sizing of it is fantastic, and with so many, I mean, there's so much writing in Death Note. It's almost more like a novel than it is a manga. I think having a bigger version in general really helps with that, so this is the format I would recommend picking it up in. Next we have the only double stacked section, and that is Berserk. So I have Berserk volumes 1 through 35, I believe it is. So the rest are back there. So actually this is 1 through 15 and then 1 through 30 in the back, and then down below, as you can see, we have 32 through 35. I mean, Berserk is absolutely incredible. Probably maybe best manga I have in my collection. At least I would at least say it's a top 5 manga in my collection. The entire manga, not just the Golden Age arc. I recommend you read the rest of it past that, because I think it really does get really good again, and you know, maybe not quite as good as the Golden Age arc, but I mean, it's still fantastic, and I think it's really overhyped saying that the Golden Age arc is the only good arc in Berserk. Next we have Blame or Blom volumes 2 through 10. I got this in the same deal that I got Berserk and Helsing and whatever for $100. But a series I'm looking to begin, but I haven't yet, because as you can see, I don't have volume 1. And I also don't have volume 4. I have 2 volume 10s, so I'm going to sell probably more than that yellow one. I'm going to sell one of those and see what I can get, and then see what I can get volumes 1 and 4 for. If I can't get those, I might just go and get the big version, but I think it's only 3 volumes in there. So it'd be perfect if the big versions were 4 volumes, but I think it's only 3. I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet. Then we have Noise volume, or just Noise. It's just, there's no volumes to it. It's just a one shot that's based on the Blame universe. I think it's a prequel. Also quite expensive. Then we have GTO, talking about quite expensive. We have GTO volumes 8 and 4. Picked these up for $1 at the dollar manga store I go to. I wish I could collect the rest of it. Everyone talks about how amazing it is, but it's just way too expensive, way out of my price range, so that's just how it is. And then we have we have GTO 14 Days in Shonen. I haven't started this yet. I'd like to collect some more. But this came free as a gift when I bought Battle Royale. Next, hopefully lighting's decent over here, but we have Drifters, volumes 1 and 3. I don't know if it's going to focus correctly, but 2 volume 1s, 2 volume 3s, and a Japanese volume 1. All of these I got super cheap, either in my Berserk haul or my Bleach haul for, all under $1. But volume 1 was really good. Volume 2 I think is very hard to get and expensive, so I haven't continued it yet. But I am definitely going to be selling at least one copy of volume 1 and 3 soon. Next we have Gantz volume 1, also just came in that bundle. Then we have Portis, a really good, or actually I would just say it's a good little horror story. I think it's worth a read. I would say try to buy it secondhand if you can, just because I don't think it's really fantastic or amazing, but I also don't think there's enough horror stories that have been translated and printed, so it just is how it is. Also kind of takes on the same concept as The Ring, so if you enjoyed The Ring, I think it's The Ring, where the girl comes out the TV and similar to that, but just video game related. Next we have One Punch Man volumes 1 through 6 with a Japanese volume 1, and we have the 7 Deadly Sins. I would love to pick up some more of the 7 Deadly Sins. The anime is fantastic on Netflix. I really enjoyed it, so definitely an anime, a manga that I'd be looking to get more of because I enjoy the anime. One Punch Man is fantastic. Everyone knows about One Punch Man. I feel like you don't really even need to talk about it that much. The first season is fantastic, amazing. I highly recommend watching it. And then the second season, I would recommend reading the manga and then maybe watching it, but they changed too many things and it just doesn't look and feel quite right. And then also down here we have the Naruto box set, the 1 through whatever, the first one. But yeah, so that's down there. And then Pokemon and a Dragon Ball manga, Yamcha or something like that. But Pokemon Adventures Volume 1. And then the 5th bookshelf, sorry for this kind of weird angle, I don't know if it looks weird or not. But this is the top. We have Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan, and then we have Magi. I always forget how to pronounce this. And then when I hear people pronounce it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But I think it's Magi. I honestly can't remember. And then A Silent Voice 1 and 3, Biomega 1 through 4, Girl on the Shore. Yikes. Then we have Uboblot Volume 1. This was a gift. I still need Volume 0 though to start the series, but I hear really good things. And then All You Need Is Kill, fantastic. I'm calling it a one-shot, probably not consider a one-shot, maybe a couple volumes in there. I have no idea, but really enjoy it. But it's the concept to the movie Edge of Tomorrow with, I think, Tom Cruise. Then we have Children of the Sea, I think it's also a light novel. Then we have Children of the Sea Volumes 1 and 2. Then we have Boruto Volumes 1 and 6. Yotsuba, out of order, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 10. Got these all at the thrift store. These are actually already sold to a friend of mine. And then we have Ultimo Volumes 1 through 3. This was actually a manga that I made a review for, but I never ended up posting it just for whatever reasons. I felt like it just wasn't fantastic, or I don't know. But the manga I really enjoyed. The video though, I don't think I did a great job with the video. But the manga I really enjoyed, and this is a Stanley collaboration, so there's volumes that are extremely expensive towards the end. And then now moving on to my shelf, like the actual shelf, we have my Bleach Collection, volumes 1 through 32, and then 33 through 58. So a really good, solid selection of Bleach. I think some people actually prefer this section than the last section, and I don't remember what volume it is, but some people think it should be ended much earlier than where it actually did. So I mean, that's Bleach. Next we have Pandora Hearts, volume 1 through 5, and then we have the God's Lie. Fantastic one shot. And then down here we have one of my favorite manga series. I mean, there's no reason why manga are on the bottom shelf. It's not like my least favorite or anything like that. It's just where they are. But we have Attack on Titan volumes 1 through 16. Fantastic series. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't. But I mean, everyone already knows about this. Then we have Attack on Titan No Regrets. I got that at the thrift store. We have Junior High, Attack on Titan Junior High. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be funny, more funny. I have no idea. Then we have Tomodachi X Monster. I don't have Volume 1 for Junior High, so I haven't started yet. But we have Tomodachi X Monster, Volume 1 through 3. Fantastic concept. Really, really cool. It's like Pokemon, but way more murder and death and violence. So if you're interested in that, definitely check the series out. There's only 3 volumes. And then we have I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Very sad. A lot of people know about this. It's a super popular anime movie. So, and there's also a light novel, but I have the manga version. And then lastly, we are at my last shelf of manga, and technically, like I said, it's gonna be my last shelf of manga, but not my last shelf. I am gonna have an extra shelf of books shown at the end, so if you're interested in checking out my Stephen King works, I have a lot of Stephen King books. So if you're interested in that, that'll be at the end, but just stay tuned for that. So if you saw one of my most recent hauls, you know I picked up a lot of this stuff. This is almost exclusively that last haul. So we have Case Closed, Volumes 1 all the way to 43. This is a manga that I've really been interested in picking up, but there's so many volumes that it's very overwhelming to get into unless you can get it for a good deal like I did. Then we have Ace Attorney, Volumes 1 through 5, and then Ace Attorney Investigations, Volumes 1 through 4. Surprisingly, a couple of these volumes are actually really expensive. I don't think I'm going to have these in my collection for too much longer, just because there's people who would honestly want these more than I do. So I'm probably going to put these up for sale, but at the same time, these are expensive, so I may try to get my money with these ones instead of giving the usual deals I do. Next, we have Fairy Tail Volumes 1 all the way to 22. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. I know this is the bottom shelf, so it's kind of tough to see sometimes. And then, I haven't started this yet, but I will be soon. I know it has mixed reviews, so if I don't really enjoy it, I'm probably going to end up selling it for, once again, probably $3-4 a volume. So hopefully the best deal that is, online. So, kind of hooking my followers up. And then we have Black Butler Volumes 1 through 10, and Blue Exorcist Volumes 1 through 7. This seems to be 2 series that are very popular, but also not very popular, if that makes any sense. I feel like they're popular series, but I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about them that much. Blue Exorcist, I've heard people talk about in my comment section a lot, especially on that haul video, that I need to keep it, I need to check it out, and, kind of leave my review on that. So Blue Exorcist I'm very excited to check out, and Black Butler, I like the concept, but I wonder if the anime kind of overshadows the manga. And then next we have Bo. I think that's how it's pronounced. I think I got all of those. I might be wrong though. And then Soul Eater Volumes 1 through 3 and Demon Slayer Volume 1. Alrighty, so that's gonna be it for my manga collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoy watching these videos. I really enjoy watching hauls and stuff. And I know there's some controversy going on currently at the moment. I really don't care. I think people should worry about themselves, worry about their own situations, their own financial situations, their own emotional and mental situations. And yeah, I pretty much try to upload videos that I enjoy making, and that I enjoy watching other creators do. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you guys are interested in looking and checking out my Stephen King collection, I'm gonna do some B-roll and probably have a little music over it. Also, please don't judge me on the condition of my Stephen King books. All of these I got from the thrift store, with the exception of maybe like 2 or 3, but they're all very old, all thrift store books. And some are just in better condition than others, but I don't really mind when I'm only paying a couple dollars per book.